Hello everyone, my name is Hristina Crenn from Macedonia, currently living and studying in Istanbul, Turkey. Today I have the privilege to start with all of you the Let's Talk show with Hristina Crenn, a project of mine. And today as well, I have the utmost happiness to talk with my dear friend Nataly Garcia from Salvador. Hello Nataly, how are you?
Hello, Christina. Thank you for inviting me to this new project. I wish you the best, and I'm looking forward to talk with you.
Thank you very much for your kindness and for accepting this invitation. Could you please briefly present yourself and your background?
So I'm Nataly Garcia. I'm an attorney. I have a specialization in international trade, investment, and arbitration. I have studied in different countries around the world, in the United States, in Chile, in Germany, and in Turkey, where we met. So that's my career, and my passion is to run marathons and half marathons and climb volcanoes when there's no pandemic.
Yes, definitely. This pandemic has changed the mode of our lives. So, you are from Latin America. Could you tell us a little bit more about the culture of Latin America? Is it very different from the one in Europe? Especially if you can also eventually talk a little bit about your experience in Europe, especially in Germany, Turkey, Macedonia.
Yes. So, well, Latin America, we're a very warm culture. So, we have many different cultures among the different countries, and we are very welcoming and always want to learn from different cultures. And we love music and family gatherings and be around.
Uh, wow, very impressive. Definitely, Latin America has a very rich history and culture as well. However, I was wondering a little bit about the process of running a business in Latin America. What need actually business investors to be careful of? What should they do? Shall they study the market itself? Your one of your main passions is to study the process of investment. So could you please share some ideas regarding your experience with this process and how and what are perhaps the advantages and disadvantages of running the business of, in Latin America?
Yes. So, well, if you want to invest in Latin America, there's different options right now. So we are developing to be a technological hub, for the world. There's different countries that they already have very advanced technological platforms, like in Chile, in Colombia, Argentina, in Mexico. Those countries are, leading the way in tech companies. And also another good investment resource is agribusiness, because Latin America is, a provider for an important percentage of food production around the world. So right now there's different investment projects in the agribusiness sector. It can be through food processing, like cocoa. There's also coffee that many European countries like to consume, as well as Asia, and also organic vegetables like Chile, Peru, Ecuador. they produce a lot of good organic vegetables that they export around the world and to Europe and your area too as well.
Wow, I didn't know this information. Thank you for sharing it. However, I would like to ask you, um, while you lived in Europe, you have studied the opportunities for investment in Europe. So, do you think that perhaps the European Union offers more advantages for Latin American investors to come and open eventually a company in Europe, or is the opposite?
Well, in Latin America, there's a support for companies to open their businesses. For example, the Inter-American Developing Bank, they have programs to support startup companies that they want to. For example, right now the trending topic is to export services. It can be, software developing services, anything related with technology. So companies here, they're having the support of that bank for projects in the technology sector and also as well as agribusiness. And in Europe as well, I noticed that there's several countries that they have their programs for tech companies. I know the Netherlands have it's a very important technological hub in Europe, and also there's another country, um, but I forgot the name right now. Um, the President Trump's wife, she's from there. What's the name of the country? Slovenia. I
Yes,
think it's Slovenia. Slovenia has like, I just found out a couple of weeks ago that they have, they call it a digital residency, where you can establish your business as if it was in Slovenia, but it's digital. So because of all this pandemic, so and they give some advantages for taxes and all that, but it sounds interesting for companies that want to have a base company also in Europe. So those two countries, as well as Germany, also I think England has another big hub for tech companies. But the recent one that I found interesting was that one that you can be a digital e-resident with your company.
Actually, I have heard recently about the air residency a program of Estonia, basically where you can open a virtual company in the actually with the residency in Estonia.
Oh
And
yeah, so that's the country. I'm sorry, so I mixed I
yes,
mixed the
so it is
countries.
about
That's the one that I
Estonia,
heard too.
definitely. Yes, Estonia is a very popular program. I haven't heard of Slovenia, but perhaps they will launch in the future. So we have been talking about Estonia, not Slovenia, definitely. Um, if you are having a meeting with a business owner from Turkey, um, and how would you interact with him regarding the business opportunities in Latin America? In case if imagine you are an investment counselor, and this is what you're doing currently, you're an investment
Mhm.
counselor. What would you do, and how would you advise the business owner from Turkey? How would you actually convince him to come and really invest in Latin America?
Well, it can be related to international trade. I know that Turkey has been an guest country in the economic development system in Central America for quite some time. So the opportunities for a Turkish company here are in terms of export, for example, textile, that they have very good quality of garments, and it's superior quality than clothing made in China, and also because of the currency with the dollar, it's a very good. pricing for companies in Latin America to purchase the Turkish clothing. Also, I saw the shoes that they make. They're very good quality as well. So it's for a like a middle market, more like a down lower price market for those types of products. And also as well, like all the olive oil, like the food sector, olive oil, dry fruits. It's a good market that they can find buyers from Latin America. So, and on the other way around, and they can also find a cardamom. They call it calculating from Guatemala. It's very good quality, and I know that in Turkey and some Middle East countries, they use this product for their cooking and different things they cook with the cardamom, uh, coffee of good quality, also cacao. So because I see that they really love chocolate, so Ecuador, it's a big manufacturer of cocoa plantations. Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. So we have a very good production and for good pricing. So we're trying to develop, cross border trade with Europe. So there are several European countries that they already have presence, as they call it, commercial services offices, so they can be in the region and find contacts for their companies as well.
Um, wow, it is a very good point that you have just talked about. And I was wondering, perhaps, like you recently you have started a project of yours by becoming an investment counselor. I was wondering to know, what are your future dreams? What would you like to work with? Do you envisage to have a legal career, or perhaps something else? What is really your vision? What would you like to do?
Well, I love to connect companies. So I would love, and now that we're going to have for next year a very challenging year with all this post-pandemic economic situation, where I would love to help companies that want to export their products to Europe or to the Middle East, to be a connector for those companies and support them finding the right client. And Turkish companies that want to find partners, distribute their products in Latin America as well. So that's why I'm learning Turkish, which is a very, very hard language. So, but I really like the way that they do business, and it would be a very fruitful business relationship.
Um, yes, indeed. And this perhaps relates very much to my next question is like, what is your formula of success? What would you uh, do? Um, Perhaps sometimes when you, especially during this pandemic, when you talk with some of your friends and they have perhaps recently lost their jobs. Um, how would you interact with that person? How would you perhaps motivate that person to make a change in his or her life?
So to be secure of their expertise, their training, their education, to find this is a time where we all need to be in a way entrepreneurial. So because right now there's no such a thing as job security anymore as before, when people used to work 20, 30, 40 years in a company, in the same company, and they will retire from that company. So right now it's a changing time. So some people, not only millennials now can change a job quite often throughout their career, their productive time. So have an entrepreneurial mind and be open to find new opportunities. And that can be through friends, through family, and to use their time to look for those opportunities as well as to cultivate themselves, personally, to maybe find a new training in their area of work, and to develop a personal project, like you're doing a project, and from your passion, it can be something fruitful that can lead, to have also an income. So be entrepreneurial and look for
Yeah,
opportunities.
definitely. The relation between entrepreneurship and investment and basically marketing, it is a very um, interdependent how can I say there is a very interdependent relation. So basically nowadays we have to acquire skills from each field of expertise, at least to master the basic notions of marketing, entrepreneurship, or some other expertise. um, you have mentioned that a Turkish language is a very hard language to study. And in this case, I believe that Spanish language it's a very easy language to learn. Um, well, when we speak about languages, could you perhaps tell me from your own experience, was there a necessity in your life, or in the, or perhaps some or perhaps in the lives of your friends, was there some necessity to speak about the importance of learning a language? Just going out of your comfort zone and say, okay, tomorrow I'm learning Indonesian, tomorrow I'm learning Japan, I should make a difference in my life. How can I make that difference? What is the formula for making yourself motivated? How can you inspire other people by saying, just dare to dream, dare to do something? And this is the motto of this actually talk show, dare to dream.
Yes, well, languages is very important because that's the way how can we can communicate and also connect to other people. So if there's no way how to express our emotion, we can do it like, through signs and things. But language is that connector that makes people get closer, and relate. And it's so rich to be able to communicate with the same language as your a friend that you have, or as a person you want to meet. And it's like language takes you on a trip to their culture, to their personality, to their customs. So it's that connector, that interrelation between people. So that's why I think language is very important. So I've been fortunately to live in a place where it was kind of like living in the United Nations. We were like 400 students from different countries around the world, and it was like a community style where we will have dinner, lunch, breakfast together. We have these crew or projects, either like we celebrated the holidays of the countries that they were the people living there. For example, I learned how to celebrate, well, today's Diwali day for Indian people in India. So I celebrated that with some of their dishes. They will cook, they will organize a dinner for that day, Chinese New Year with my Chinese neighbors. and we will also celebrate Mexican Independence Day because I was living in Los Angeles at the time. So of course, there's also the Latin mix there. Also Japanese dinner time with my Japanese neighbors. So language is so rich. So at least you know a few words. Say hello, how are you? My name is, and you connect, like you see their faces that, oh, you understand my language. Is that it gets you closer to that person. So that's why.
Actually, this is how we met in Turkey. Me and you. We met at Koç University during the Law and Democracy symposium, student symposium, and since then we have exchanged many ideas and many cultural features of the two worlds. From one side, the European world, and the other side, the other side, the Latin world. So my question for
Yes.
you is related to this. If you were again 20 years old, what would you do? What difference will you make in your
Oh,
life?
I think if I was 20 years old, I will study abroad faster than what I did. So, and also learn. I started learning English when I was 14, so maybe I'll learn earlier than that, and another language, multiple language, because that's the time when you can develop easily the skill. So, and also to study abroad for bachelor. I study my bachelor in my country, so I would
You
get,
have
get that
mentioned,
experience.
yes, absolutely. You have mentioned that you have lived for a while in Chile, and now you're living in Salvador. What is for you the cultural difference in the Latin American world between two Latin American countries, such as Chile and Salvador? What are the differences that you notice? Where it was better to live? Where is better to live, actually?
Yes, well, there's a difference even in my next door neighbor country. The food, the expression, because if you learn Spanish, I'm sure the Spanish you learn, if someone from Mexico speaks some slang, some native Spanish from there, the other country will not understand. So when I got to Chile, they have their own specific Spanish phrases that I did not understand. So I had to learn what the meaning was. So it was interesting because they have some videos and some sketches that they say, oh, welcome to Chile, and then there's a list of different expressions that if you're not from there you're not going to understand even if you speak Spanish. And Chile, well, the weather is different. They have all the seasons. Here my country is in a little bit north from equator, so it's in the middle, almost in the middle of the globe. So we only have tropical weather, summer, and our winter is rain. So Chile has all the seasons, and also it's closer, to the South Pole, so the weather is very cold. So you can go to the -0 degrees in different areas of their country. But it's a very it's right now, I'm not sure if it's still the number one country in Latin America for development, because it was between Chile and Mexico a couple of years ago. So because they have a lot of natural resources, mining industry. Also, they're big exporters in the fruit and vegetables, as well as they also offer services. So it's a bigger country. I think the capital was, I don't know, 16 millions, or I don't remember. But my country is small. My country, we're like about 7 million. So there's a huge difference there. But it's interesting to see both ends, a small country and a big country. and all the development.
Definitely. I mean, one of your dreams is traveling, so that's why I asked you this question. I would like Nataly to thank you for your time and for again for accepting this invitation to be the first guest of this Let's Talk show. And um, for as a last message, what will be your message for the youth nowadays? What young people should be careful of? How they should take care of their future?
Yeah, so work in your goals, invest your time in education, and there's be resourceful. You don't have to spend money to learn a language nowadays, or get a new skill. If you like programming, go find a course online, or it depends on where you live, at your local library, like a book, you know a podcast. There's different ways how to learn. If you just be focused on what you want to do for your career or for your personal goals, and have a plan, have a plan, and act on it, act on it, and pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, as your
Yes. So basically, also
program says.
I'm saying the very same thing. Eleanor Roosevelt have mentioned while declaring the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. She said, like, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So this is my favorite quote of all time. I believe that young people should dare to dream. And my dear friends, if you would like to get in some pieces of advice regarding investment, do not hesitate to contact our dear friend Nataly Garcia. She is an investment counselor from Salvador. Please visit her LinkedIn page, Nataly Garcia, and her Facebook page, Nataly Garcia. You can find this info in the description box below this video on YouTube. Do not hesitate also to share our talks and to subscribe to our channel. If you're interested to talk with me and promote your career, please contact me. You'll find the contact info below this video as well. Thank you very much, Nataly. I'm so happy to have talked with you, and I believe that this chat perhaps will open a new door for you regarding your career. I wish you the best of luck and perhaps to have you soon again at the Let's Talk show. Thank you.
Congratulations and my best wishes for this new project. I know that it will be very rewarding. So all the best.
Thank you.
And thank you.
You too. Take care of yourself.